as a veteran, small business owner, what can we do for you?
What we can all do for all veteran business owners is promote each other.
My main mission was to look at tools and technology to leverage small business and give them more of a competitive advantage.
My mission for Veteran Bargains is very simple: to help vets.
That story in itself, to run for Vista City Council, is a journey.
I think this is an opportunity to really collaborate with those gone before us.
It's really kind of a labor of love.
And now your host.
Welcome to the Veterans Radio Show and Podcast. I'm your host, Laura Torres. Thank you for joining us once again here on this Friday, beautiful Friday. I hope that you're having a phenomenal day. This particular case, this is the Veterans Radio Show, where we bring you the leaders and the community leaders who are making it happen, our heroes in action. Thank you so much for watching our podcast listeners as well. Those of you who are on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Amazon Live, all of our social media networks, please, thank you so much. We'll look forward to your comments, and we'll look forward to your support through your comments, to your questions. So we welcome all of that. Thank you so much. This particular case, I have a very special guest, Dr. Julie. I have a very special guest on our show, Dr. Julie Taylor Ducharme, and I think I did not say her last name. She's an amazing contributor. We're going to learn how she went from boots to heels, from heels to boots, and how she has changed the lives of so many veterans, so many military community members, as well as women throughout our local South Call area. So without further ado, I'm going to make sure that I bring Dr. Julie so she can actually tell me how to say the right way her last name. Dr. Julie, come on over, please. Welcome to the Veterans Radio Show.
Thank you so much for having me. And you were close. It's Ducharme. So, but I know that's always how to pronounce. So I tell anyone, just stay with a French accent and you'll be good. It sounds good anyway.
Welcome. How you doing today? Thank you for being here.
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you. And I apologize. I think you're like my second guest this month today. I need to go back to my linguistics and figure out how to pronounce your last name. Tell me your last correction of your last name.
It's Ducharme, and it's hard to say. Everyone mispronounces it, so it's not a problem. I say, just say it with a French accent and it'll sound good however you say it.
Perfect. All right. Thank you. And yes, that is a good way for me to be able to just practice. And so if I'm going to call you and call you one of these days and say, Dr. Julie Taylor Ducharme, I'm going to call you a couple of times so that I can continue to practice your last name. I'm sorry. So Julie, tell us all about your military connection. How are you involved with our veteran community?
Yeah, well, thank you for asking me that. I've had family, grandfathers who've been in the military, and many friends, and it's always been a passion of mine to support military. And, I got a really great opportunity about 8 years ago when I was working with a university. I had professors coming to me telling me, as the dean, that they were seeing our veterans were struggling transitioning. And I said, transitioning into taking courses? And they said, no, transitioning into civilian life. What do we have to support them? And I found out we didn't have anything really at the college I was working with. And I was shocked. And I started doing research and trying to find out what could I do to support veterans, because I didn't realize that there was a struggle transitioning, back into the civilian world. And I brought in some wonderful colleagues who were veterans, and we put our heads together and said, what we know best is education. And why don't we create a nonprofit technical vocational college that can offer courses for veterans transitioning out of the military. And our goal being a nonprofit is to get it fully funded so that we can offer those courses at no cost and support our veterans. And so we started out, and actually my father, who's actually visiting me right now, was the first person to help me jump in. The VA had some veterans who had worked in automotive, and they needed some automotive certificates. And our first program we put together was an automotive certificate in Bakersfield. California, and we're able to help graduate, I believe, 6 veterans is what we started out with 8 years ago. Now we have many, many programs, and we're partnered with a university so our veterans can get units for their college degrees. And of course, we have another great program, which I'm sure we'll talk more about later, called Combat Boots to Heels for our women's program, for our women veterans. And it is one of the very few in the nation that exist. And so that's a little bit about how I got started into working with veterans. I mean, I've done it my entire life, but this is a passion project that has evolved over the last 8 years.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you so much for all of your support and for just leading on and taking on this challenge that which is transitioning, as you have experienced probably perhaps and seen firsthand. It is a challenge to try to re-engage into your new civilian life or new roles out in the civilian world after you have carried for so many years your hat as an individual in a specific path through the military. So with that, I would like to ask you, what sort of challenges have you faced doing this kind of work from the beginnings or throughout your numerous years that you have been supporting our community?
Oh, yes. I naively decided to start a college, which sounded much easier than it was. So I definitely had the challenges of starting a college with pretty much zero budget and having to really use my experience of 20 years in academia plus several other colleagues to pull it together. And thankfully, many of them donated their time. So one of the biggest challenges obviously was funding. It's very difficult to get funding for a nonprofit. So we have worked really hard to find lots of different avenues for that. We really, really believe that our veterans should be able to come in and take these courses at no cost. It's just one way for us to thank them for their service. And so that's been a challenge, of course, getting our name out. We don't want to be a best kept secret. We want to be open, not just here in San Diego where I'm at, but we are nationwide. And we've even are now working with some different groups in Australia and other countries, some women who are transitioning out of the military, because it doesn't matter what country they're in, they're still veterans, they're still transitioning, they're still experiencing issues. So those have been some challenges, but with every challenge, we have kept the doors open, even through COVID. We're continuing to be able to find funding and support and volunteers. So it's fantastic that we're able to do that. But yeah, I definitely would say that there was an absolute learning curve when I decided to start a college on my own.
Fantastic. That's wonderful. Now, what would you say, tell us a little bit more about Combat Boots to Heels. How did this came to be, and what sparked this, this particular organization, but most importantly, what do you do in this to drive force and mission to our community?
Yes, we're very proud of our Combat Boots to Heels program. I made this program with Dr. Karen Walker, who is a 21-year Marine, and we actually went to college together. And when she was retiring out of the military, she came to me and told me about the struggles. And mind you, she has a PhD. She was a high-ranking officer. She's a very intelligent, talented woman, and she was struggling not only to find where to go out of the military, but also finding a service that really catered to her as a woman. And so we talked about this and decided that we needed to create a program that specifically worked with the mentality of women, the leadership of women, the needs of women. We found that women transitioning in the military are very often single moms and need support. We found the numbers for women suicide veterans are very high, and as well homelessness. But oftentimes, there are forgotten heroes because we just don't often think, women veterans. So we created this program to help take them from transitioning the mentality, the leadership. We even help with resumes, interviewing, getting them clothes, finding them, care for their kids if they need it. And if we don't have it, we are partnered with a ton of organizations. And we've had several women go through this program and have been very successful. We have Kelly, who is a successful artist full-time. We're so excited about her. We have Ava, who's finishing up her PhD and going to be a victim advocate for other women. And there's a long list, but our main goal is to really help them find the right path, not just any job, but to actually take their amazing talents and skills and plug it into the right place for them. Because a lot of veterans just get told, oh, just go work there or just go work there. And that's not what we do. we find those passions, those talents and skills that they have from the military, and we help transition those. And we are very excited about this program, and we spend a lot of time fundraising for it. And we can definitely talk more also about our Lead and Empower Her conference that we do, but that's a little bit of what our Combat Boots to Heels program does.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all of the support and for all of this. And let me just pause real quick, Julie, for our audience. We're talking to Dr. Julie Taylor Ducharme, who is an incredible community collaborator, a friend of the Veteran Chamber of Commerce, and who's leading just incredible programming for all of our community members. Veterans, through helping supporting veterans to transition, as well as supporting women veterans through her organization, Combat Boots to Heal. Sorry, from Combat Boots to Heels. And so we're talking about all of her incredible work. And although she's directly herself not a U.S. veteran or nurse, she's very passionate to help and support our community. And we're extremely grateful for her support. Also, this segment is sponsored to you. Thank you to Lima Green Painting of Boca Raton, sponsor for today. Thank you so much for the support, Lima Painting of Boca Raton. Thank you for all of their support. They've been supporting us all month long, and we're very grateful for their support. So, Julie, back to you again. So, when you first started this, and I'm sure that you saw and you had many colleagues through the school, through the support of the transition and women veterans, what sort of challenges, better yet, what would you tell yourself, your younger self, when you first started this, that you know now about transitioning and about doing work with the veteran community?
Oh gosh, so many things, right? When we look back at our youth and we think, oh my gosh, if I just would have known that. I'm being a strong, independent woman who's been successful in my career. I am not one that likes to ask for help. And I'm sure this resounds with many women out there. I definitely would have told myself, ask for more help. You don't have to do it all on your own. That's a big one for me, is reaching out and building your village. I found that as I started to build my village, there were so many people who wanted to give different pieces of their skills, their time, their efforts, or donate. I just had to ask. And I was not very good at asking. I've never been good at asking for money. So that was a thing that I had to learn. So definitely I would tell myself, build your village. Don't be afraid to ask. The worst thing they can say is no. Now I'm really good at asking. I'm very persistent. And, you know, there's more people out there that have this passion, and don't be afraid to share it. And I had to go into a lot of spaces that were different and new for me. That was nerve-wracking, because I just thought, like, oh gosh, are they going to let me in the door? I hope they will. But I learned that I had to just say, you know what? We just got to do it. The worst that happens is it doesn't happen. But the best thing that happens is we make a new network, a new partner. And that's where we're at right now. It's a really exciting time for Synergy Learning Institute. We have the Knowledge and Innovation Center with Forbes Business School of Technology is a partner of ours now. So we now have courses that are accredited that students can take. That is such an exciting thing for us to have such a huge partner. We are now making partners across the U.S. with veterans and doing conferences. And we even are doing an entrepreneurship challenge where our veterans are going to be able to win money for their businesses, similar to a Shark Tank, but we can't use that word Shark Tank. So it's entrepreneurship challenge. But yeah, I think that we all have to be willing to look back and say, gosh, what could I do different? And then I love sharing this for any, budding entrepreneurs out there. Don't be afraid to ask. Find your village. I mean, this applies in everything, but especially for those entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for encouraging, everyone to not do the work alone, because that's one of the things that it's quite common among our community. We pride ourselves that, hey, I can do this on my own. I can do this. The resources out there, and, I can just take lead and handle it. But no matter what, I think we all need a little bit of help, or even just a cheerleader behind you to prep you and to help you just stay enthusiastic about the work. Now, let me ask you, what's next for you? I know you have multiple, work in the works. You have multiple avenues of being involved and supporting our community. And you'll mention, getting involved a little further with certifications and more training and whatnot. But what's next for Miss Julie, Dr. Julie? But as well as what's next with you in general, empowering and supporting veterans? How can we support you further that vision for you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, our big thing that's happening right now is what's called our Lead and Empower Her conferences. And we started these conferences to fund our programs. And everyone who's involved in this, we don't take a salary, we don't take any money. We all donate our time to do this. So we have essentially four conferences coming up. We have one in Arizona on October 2nd. We have a 3-day in Houston, which has become super big. It's the first day is Women's Empowerment for Women Veterans. Day 2 is for all men and women veterans, and they will be a pitch contest that you can win up to $80,000 in a variety of money, services, support. And then we will have another one in Florida on December 5th. And so all of these conferences, all the money goes to our programs. We not only empower veterans, but we also train them while they're there. And, we offer all sorts of support. And so these are great ways to get involved, whether you want to be at the event, want to be part of the event, because we also invite veterans to come and tell their story on stage. And then there's also, you can also be a sponsor, a donor, anything like that as well. And so these are fantastic events. We're excited to have them back, especially after COVID. Our last one right before COVID, we had 250 attend. And that was so amazing. So that's a great way to get involved with us. And you can go to leadandempowerher.com to get all that info, and also reach us for any questions you have about our programs or anything we're doing.
Wonderful, thank you. So you did mention, all these great events and activities you have going on. So better yet, well, how can we really directly get a hold of you? I'm going to have our producer bring in a direct contact. But if you can tell us, for our audience and for our podcast listeners, how can we best get a hold of you and support you with this great mission?
Yeah, absolutely. So on the leadandempower.com website, there is submission form there, and it goes, I get tagged on it as well as my assistant. So I see every single one that comes in. And that's a great way. You can send us questions, comments, ask how you can get involved. It's a great, quick way to jump on and do that for sure. I also have an email, and this should be, you'll be able to remember, it's called leadingbymyponytail@gmail.com. And that is another way that you can definitely reach us as well. It's a direct email. So either way, we'll get you to me and get you to our team to help you with any questions you have. And of course, if you have any questions about our programs at Synergy Learning Institute, we can answer those and help you as well and direct you in the right way for any type of program you're looking for.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Julie. May I call you Julie? Miss Julie. Thank you for all of the great insightful information that you have, and we look forward to seeing the Synergy grow more and bring our community together. And I am going to go right now and take time to bring our CEO so he can greet you and talk over a little bit more what that collaboration could look like from the chamber and your institute, as well as for our community for a better programming. Joe.
Hi, Julie. Thank you, Laura. And
Hi there.
Julie, you and I have been working for a while now on different programs, and you're a great supporter of the chamber, and the chamber is wanting more and more to get involved with what you're doing. So especially with the programs for re-entering the civilian transitioning part. So anything like that, we are happy to help. But I also wanted to kind of share with the audiences that we are going to, and we're planning on having a conference or a pre-conference section in Texas, right? So
yes.
that you and I are working on to set it up. And what we want to do is, in collaboration with the National Veterans Chamber, provide a certificate for attendees to the program. So just wanted to kind of thank you. We're very, very grateful to what you are doing. And when you're talking about the studying at college, I totally feel your pain. Back in the early 2000s, we started the Metro College Online, and providing some courses and program certificates that will help the community and veterans at large. But it's a challenge. It's a challenge. I agree with you.
Yes.
So, but tell us a little bit more about the event, and I know you mentioned about the attendance and how many people want to attend.
Yeah. it's really exciting because, and this is why I absolutely love the veteran community. We needed a location. And of course, hotels are extremely expensive. And a veteran stepped up who owns 2 facilities in Houston, Texas, and has offered his facility to us for free for three days. It's called Rowdy's. It's actually going to be extremely fun because if you love country and you love Texas, just bring your boots to this conference because not only are we going to have empowerment and training, we've got Jessica Muse from American Idol. She was the top 4 country singer. She's going to put on a concert. We've got Christina Van Loo, world-renowned aerialist who has flown around the ceilings for Mick Jagger and Pink, and a lot of other stars are going to be donating their time. We have masters in the industry from every industry there. So you're going to be able to network and actually sit at a table with them and do one-on-ones and ask about everything from HR to government contracts, how you as a veteran entrepreneur can get these things. So we've got all of that going on, which is really, really exciting. We're offering the certificate course that we're working with you guys on to have that available. Actually, the Houston Veterans Chamber just talked to me yesterday, so all of their people are going to be a part of this. Awesome. So we can fit. We were not planning for this, but I will take it. We can fit up to 1,000 people at Rowdy's.
Oh, wow.
So we were originally thinking much smaller, but now that we are doing the Entrepreneurship Challenge, which is like a Shark Tank, you can pitch your business and win up to $16,000 in cash. And even the top 16 will win $1,000 each plus a ton more. My college is donating $35,000 in scholarships to take programs. So Houston is just getting big and it's getting really fun. I think there might even, don't quote me on this, there might even be a bull you can ride in the corner. I'm just, it just sounds so fun.
That sounds fun. I think we should have like a competition. If you stay more than 3 minutes, then you get free beer or something like that.
Oh, let's add that in. Okay, so if you're a sponsor and you want to donate.
Oh my God, yeah. If someone can stay there for 3 minutes, we used to run a rodeo back in the day. So we used to do those kind of things all the time.
Yeah. So it's so exciting because we have so many, for this person of Rowdy's to donate this location. How amazing is that? He's giving 2 days to us that he could be making money. We're more than likely going to have some great food carts that are veteran owned coming in to supply the food for the event. And then, of course, we're offering all sorts of other things. But it's a really exciting time because this has been the true mission and vision of Synergy, is to support and bring veterans together and also bring civilians in that are masters in the industry to support our veterans, right, which is what people say they love. They love that we're bringing in those masters in the industry who can sit down and really talk with our veterans and say, let me give you some really good guidance on where you can go. And it's a really exciting time. So we've opened the doors. It was a couple hundred. We can fit 1,000 now. So I told my team, as long as they can fit, they're in. So very exciting. And then of course we're going to have that certificate course the night before we were planning. So that would be like the Friday night. Which we'll be sending out info on that. So now that we have a location, we can send out info on where it's going to be. So you might have to have it around the bull pit, but no, I'm just kidding.
I'm very familiar with that kind of environment, so I'm totally cool with that. I still have my cowboy boots.
I'm bringing mine. I'm bringing my cowboy boots and my cowboy. I said, let's just make this fun because I truly believe that we can learn from each other and we can have fun. And it can be such an empowering time. And to be totally honest, after the last 18 months, I think everyone could use a good laugh and great networking, and just a really good time together. And that's our goal too, when we put these on. It's not just serious and we got to study and learn the whole time, but we want to just build new friendships and new relationships.
Right. That's important. And on that note, and I'll give it back to Laura, but on that note, anyone who is attending the conference, we will really like to offer our free membership to everyone who attends or signs up for it. You and I can talk about the process, but it's very simple. So when I make that available to them, there's that way they get a National Chamber of Commerce membership for no cost. So yeah,
that's wonderful.
So looking forward to that, Julie. So I'm going to give back to Laura so we can wrap up. And I know Jimmy's like giving like, oh, let's wrap it up. So I'm leading back to Laura, and then you and I will connect right after the show. So stay on after the show, and then we'll chit chat for a minute.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Laura.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I look forward to all the great work and all the great collaboration going on here. I really look forward to supporting and connecting our community further. So, Dr. Julie, any last thoughts as we get close? We're wrapping up over here. Any last thoughts, any words of wisdom to our community, call to action, either that we can support you or attend your future events? Tell us.
Yeah, well, it's something I always like to tell people because I own 4 companies and I've been doing entrepreneurship for 20 years. And a lot of times we get questions about how do we do this? And what I like to tell everyone is that you are your only barrier out there. A lot of people think that there's other things stopping them, but really when it's all said and done, it's just you. And if you can step past that and move forward, you're going to be unstoppable. And that's what we are telling all of our veterans and everyone who attends our conferences is that you are unstoppable if you can remove the one barrier. And very often, I'll say 99% of the time, it is themselves. And so we want to encourage you guys to come, find support, build your village, get what you need. Don't be by yourself trying to figure this out like I did. Get in there and really support. And if you can't come, we have lots of online support. So please reach out to us because we will get you connected with a group. We'll get you connected with courses. And we will find how we can get you connected with whatever you need because we have lots of partnerships. But I hope you guys will check out the site, what we're doing, reach out to us. We'd love for you to be a part of this and however you can be a part.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah, and if for some reason messages don't get right across straight to Dr. Julie, please reach out to the Veteran Chamber of Commerce. We're here to support you, to make sure that these collaborations and these events and activities throughout that we come here and we bring here to promote to our radio show and through our community are accessible for everyone. So thank you so much, Dr. Julie, for being here with us. Thank you for your time. We wish you the best with all these upcoming activities and everything else that you have coming through to better our members. Thank you for all of your support, and for all of those of you who are watching, thank you once again for always tuning in. Make sure that you tune in next week. We have a very special guest, and our co-host leading the segment, Shelly Harrison, will be here. Thank you to our sponsor, Lima Painting of Boca Raton. Thank you once again for all of your viewing and all of the subscriptions. Make sure that you subscribe to our button, and then you make sure that you get all those notifications. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your Friday. This is the Veteran Radio Show, where we bring you the community leaders who are making it happen out in our community, making a greater impact. So thank you for supporting. Have a great day.